A quiet stillness settles first, gentle yet powerful, as unseen wings move through the air and a protective presence surrounds you without sound or warning. The moment is calm but charged, as if time itself has slowed to make space for strength, peace, and unwavering protection. Archangel Michael says this moment has been prepared long before you arrived here, and now it unfolds with perfect precision. You are not alone in this space, not even for a breath, because vigilance surrounds you like an invisible shield that does not sleep or weaken. Every step you have taken, even the uncertain ones, has been observed with care and guarded with steady resolve. What reaches you now is not fear but reassurance, flowing like a steady current through your thoughts and your heart. A powerful watchfulness stands near, silent yet absolute, ensuring that no harm passes without being dissolved before it reaches you. Strength wraps itself around your spirit, restoring what was tired and lifting what felt heavy. This protection does not demand attention, yet it works continuously, restoring balance and calm. The air feels different when protection is present, fuller and warmer, carrying a sense of order that quiets inner noise. Nothing chaotic survives long under this watchful gaze, because harmony is enforced without struggle. You are allowed to rest within this guarded space and simply breathe. Amen. 333, a blessing of divine alignment, courage, and inner peace flows to you now. There is movement in realms unseen, steady and purposeful, ensuring that your path remains clear even when the road ahead feels uncertain. Obstacles that once appeared immovable begin to lose their weight and influence. What once drained your energy is quietly removed from your path. Protection does not always arrive with noise or spectacle, often it arrives as calm replacing fear and clarity replacing confusion. You may notice a sudden steadiness where anxiety once lived. This is the sign of a guardian standing firm. Archangel Michael says strength is not only found in battle but in the quiet assurance that you are defended at all times. This assurance rebuilds confidence gently, layer by layer. It reminds you that your journey is supervised by wisdom greater than any challenge. Invisible barriers rise around your life, filtering out negativity and allowing only what supports growth to remain. What does not belong begins to fade naturally without confrontation. Peace becomes your natural environment again. Amen. 444, a blessing of protection, stability, and grounded strength surrounds you. A calm authority moves through your circumstances, correcting imbalance without force. Situations align, conversations soften, and outcomes begin to reflect fairness and truth. This is not coincidence but order being restored. You may feel an inner lifting, as though a burden has been quietly removed from your shoulders. That release is intentional and precise. Nothing essential is taken, only what weakened you. Guidance flows steadily now, not as loud instruction but as quiet certainty in your decisions. Doubt loosens its grip as clarity strengthens. Each step forward feels supported. This watchfulness does not judge your past or measure your worth, it simply defends your future. You are valued enough to be guarded without condition. This protection is constant and unwavering. Amen. 777, a blessing of divine guidance, wisdom, and spiritual clarity fills your path. There is a firmness in this presence that does not waver, even when circumstances try to shake you. Challenges are observed carefully, then neutralized with precision. Nothing chaotic is allowed to overtake you. Your environment begins to respond to this higher order, reflecting calm where tension once existed. Even silence feels safer and more supportive. The unseen hand continues its work patiently. Archangel Michael says courage grows naturally when you realize you are never facing anything alone. This courage is not loud or aggressive but deeply rooted and steady. It strengthens you from within. Energy that once leaked away through worry is now sealed and restored. Your focus sharpens, and your spirit feels reinforced. Protection becomes a foundation rather than a reaction. Amen. 888, a blessing of strength, resilience, and divine authority activates within you. Time itself seems to cooperate when protection is present, stretching gently to allow healing and contracting to remove delay. What was postponed begins to move again. Progress resumes with quiet confidence. You are being watched over with an intensity that does not suffocate but empowers. Freedom and protection exist together in perfect balance here. You are safe to expand and grow. Unseen forces work in harmony to ensure your well-being, coordinating outcomes beyond your awareness. This orchestration removes unnecessary struggle. Ease replaces resistance. The path ahead becomes smoother, not because challenges vanish, but because they lose their power over you. You remain steady regardless of conditions. This steadiness is guarded. Amen. 999, a blessing of completion, renewal, and victorious closure arrives. Strength settles deeper now, anchoring itself into your sense of self. You carry protection within you, not just around you. Confidence becomes natural rather than forced. External noise fades as inner authority strengthens. You recognize stability as your new normal. Nothing external can easily disturb it. Archangel Michael says vigilance remains constant even when you forget to ask for it. This guardianship does not depend on your awareness. It simply continues. Your spirit stands taller, reinforced by unseen support. You move forward with assurance rather than urgency. Calm power surrounds every step. Amen. 111, a blessing of new beginnings, divine focus, and spiritual awakening unfolds. Lightness enters your thoughts, clearing space for creativity and hope. Where heaviness once lingered, clarity now settles. This shift is protected and sustained. You are allowed to trust this calm without fear of loss. Protection does not withdraw suddenly or fade with time. It remains as steady as breath. Every environment you enter is quietly influenced by this presence. Hostility dissolves, and harmony increases. You carry peace with you. Nothing meant to harm you finds access now. Boundaries are enforced without conflict. Safety becomes effortless. Amen. 222, a blessing of balance, harmony, and emotional security surrounds you. Your journey continues under watchful eyes that never tire. Even rest is guarded, ensuring renewal and strength. Sleep becomes deeper, and waking becomes lighter. Purpose feels clearer, not because answers shout, but because confusion fades. You recognize direction instinctively. Protection sharpens perception. Archangel Michael says endurance grows when fear is removed from the future. You no longer anticipate harm. You expect stability. Your life space feels ordered and secure. What belongs stays, what does not quietly exits. Peace remains. Amen. 555, a blessing of transformation, forward movement, and protected change activates. A sense of quiet triumph settles in, not from victory over others but from safety within yourself. You stand protected regardless of outcome. This is true power. External circumstances may shift, but your foundation remains firm. Protection adapts seamlessly to every change. Nothing catches it unprepared. Confidence deepens as trust replaces vigilance. You no longer scan for danger. You simply live. This presence continues without interruption, without fatigue, without hesitation. You are watched over now and always. Amen. 666, a blessing of restored balance, inner harmony, and grounded peace flows endlessly. The presence remains steady and unbroken, extending far beyond what the eyes can perceive, creating a field of calm that holds you gently yet firmly. Nothing disturbs this space because it is maintained with precision and unwavering focus. You move within it freely, supported without restriction. Strength flows continuously, not in waves but as a constant current that never runs dry. It stabilizes emotions, aligns thoughts, and reinforces confidence without effort. You feel supported even in silence. Protection adapts to every moment, responding before danger forms or doubt arises. This guardianship works ahead of time, ensuring safety before awareness is needed. Ease replaces alertness. The atmosphere around you feels lighter, as if pressure has been released and replaced with clarity. Your breathing deepens naturally. Peace settles without resistance. Amen. 12:12, a blessing of continuous protection, calm authority, and spiritual steadiness surrounds you. Momentum builds gently now, guided and secure, moving you forward without strain. Progress no longer feels forced or uncertain. Each step lands on solid ground. The unseen defense remains active through every interaction and environment. Nothing intrusive gains entry to your inner world. Boundaries remain intact effortlessly. Confidence expands quietly, not needing validation or proof. You trust your direction because it feels protected. Stability becomes instinctive. This sense of safety is not temporary or conditional. It is established and maintained with care. You are held within it fully. Amen. 14:14, a blessing of confidence, protection in motion, and secure advancement activates. Stillness and power coexist here, balanced perfectly to support growth without pressure. You are encouraged without being pushed. Protection allows exploration without risk. Your inner space becomes organized and clear, free from unnecessary noise. Thoughts align smoothly. Focus sharpens. Even challenges lose their edge under this watchful influence. They arrive softened, manageable, and brief. Resolution follows naturally. Peace does not retreat when activity increases. It moves with you seamlessly. This harmony is sustained. Amen. 16:16, a blessing of balanced energy, protected focus, and inner order flows. The journey ahead continues to unfold with precision, each moment safeguarded before it arrives. You are not required to anticipate danger or prepare defenses. That work is already done. Calm assurance replaces vigilance, freeing energy for creativity and purpose. Your attention turns toward building rather than guarding. Expansion feels safe. The protection surrounding you remains alert even when you rest. Renewal happens deeply and completely. Strength returns multiplied. You are supported in motion and in stillness alike. This guardianship does not pause. It continues faithfully. Amen. 1818, a blessing of deep renewal, sustained protection, and effortless strength settles. Everything around you responds subtly to this higher order, aligning itself without conflict. Cooperation replaces resistance. Flow replaces effort. Your presence carries a quiet authority now, shaped by security rather than force. Others sense it without explanation. Respect forms naturally. Nothing drains you unnecessarily anymore. Energy is conserved and restored. Balance becomes consistent. This protection integrates fully into your life, not as an external force but as an underlying constant. You live within it naturally. Amen. 2020, a blessing of integration, stable authority, and protected harmony completes this flow. The calm presence deepens further, extending its reach into every corner of your awareness, ensuring nothing remains untouched by stability. What once felt fragmented within you now feels unified and steady. You move forward without internal resistance. Your surroundings subtly adjust, responding to the quiet authority that accompanies you. Disorder loses its grip, and harmony asserts itself naturally. Peace becomes the dominant tone of your experience. Strength is maintained without effort, as if sustained by an endless source that never weakens. You do not need to hold yourself together anymore. Support does that for you. Safety becomes an assumption rather than a concern, freeing your mind to rest and expand. You exist without bracing for impact. Calm becomes permanent. Amen. 2323, a blessing of deep safety, inner unity, and unshakable calm flows to you. A steady rhythm carries you onward, neither rushed nor delayed, perfectly timed for your well-being. Each moment arrives prepared and protected. Nothing surprises this guardianship. Clarity sharpens gently, removing confusion without force. Decisions feel lighter, guided by inner certainty rather than pressure. Confidence follows naturally. Energy remains balanced, never spiking into anxiety or dropping into exhaustion. You are sustained evenly and consistently. This balance is guarded. The sense of being watched over does not intrude, it reassures quietly. You feel free within protection. Stability supports independence. Amen. 2424, a blessing of balanced momentum, protected clarity, and steady confidence activates. Your inner world settles into a calm order that resists disruption. External chaos loses its ability to enter. Peace remains intact. Every transition you encounter is managed smoothly, with no sharp edges or sudden drops. Change becomes safe. Movement feels controlled and secure. You carry a composed strength that does not need to announce itself. It speaks through calm reactions and steady presence. This strength is reinforced continuously. Restoration happens constantly, not only in pauses but even while you move. You are replenished as you progress. Fatigue fades. Amen. 2525, a blessing of smooth transitions, quiet strength, and constant renewal surrounds you. The protective field remains alert, precise, and unwavering, responding before imbalance can form. Nothing harmful lingers. Everything unnecessary dissolves. You feel anchored even when circumstances shift beneath you. Stability holds firm regardless of external motion. Your footing remains secure. A gentle assurance fills your awareness, replacing old habits of worry. Anticipation softens into trust. Calm expectation replaces fear. This guardianship does not fluctuate or weaken. It maintains perfect consistency. You are continuously held. Amen. 2626, a blessing of unwavering stability, anchored peace, and guarded trust settles. Focus deepens as distractions lose their pull. Your attention becomes purposeful and calm. Productivity feels natural rather than forced. Interactions flow more smoothly, free from tension and misunderstanding. Your presence encourages ease. Harmony spreads quietly. Nothing drains your emotional reserves unnecessarily anymore. Emotional balance is preserved and protected. You respond rather than react. The sense of safety grows stronger through repetition, reinforcing itself each moment. Protection becomes familiar. Peace feels normal. Amen. 2727, a blessing of protected focus, emotional balance, and harmonious exchange activates. You move through each day with a grounded confidence that does not depend on outcomes. Regardless of results, stability remains. Security is internal and sustained. The watchful presence continues without interruption, managing details beyond your awareness. You are spared unnecessary strain. Ease increases. Your inner space feels spacious and calm, no longer crowded by concern. Silence becomes comforting. Stillness feels supportive. This protection integrates further, becoming indistinguishable from your natural state. You live within calm effortlessly. Safety surrounds every step. Amen. 2828, a blessing of effortless calm, internal security, and protected living completes this continuation. The flow continues without pause, extending the calm into deeper layers of awareness where old tension once rested quietly. Those hidden pressures loosen and dissolve, replaced by a steady sense of assurance that does not need explanation. You feel settled in yourself, supported from within and without. Movement through life becomes smoother as resistance fades away naturally. You no longer push against circumstances, they adjust around you. Cooperation replaces friction. Your inner strength feels refined and balanced, neither rigid nor fragile. It adapts without breaking and holds without strain. This strength remains protected and constant. Even uncertainty loses its sharpness, becoming manageable and brief. You remain composed regardless of shifting conditions. Calm remains intact. Amen. 2929, a blessing of refined strength, adaptive calm, and inner security flows. Awareness expands gently, allowing you to observe without absorbing unnecessary weight. You notice more but carry less. Discernment replaces overwhelm. The protective presence continues to work quietly in the background, correcting imbalance before it reaches you. You experience the results as ease. Life feels less demanding. Confidence stabilizes further, rooted in safety rather than expectation. You trust the moment you are in. Assurance grows deeper. Nothing urgent disturbs your inner rhythm anymore. Time feels supportive rather than pressing. You move at a pace that suits you. Amen. 3030, a blessing of expanded awareness, protected ease, and grounded confidence activates. Your emotional landscape becomes calm and even, free from sudden spikes or drops. Reactions soften into responses. Control feels natural. The environment around you reflects this inner balance, responding with cooperation and harmony. Interactions feel lighter. Understanding comes more easily. You carry a quiet composure that steadies situations without effort. Presence alone brings order. Influence flows gently. This steadiness does not require maintenance, it sustains itself. Protection reinforces it continuously. Peace endures. Amen. 3131, a blessing of emotional steadiness, harmonious influence, and sustained peace surrounds you. The sense of being guarded deepens into certainty, removing the need for constant self-protection. You relax fully into safety. Trust becomes effortless. Your thoughts align smoothly, free from conflict or contradiction. Clarity settles without struggle. Decisions feel clean and assured. Energy circulates evenly, supporting both action and rest. You are never depleted beyond recovery. Renewal is constant. This guardianship remains alert and precise, attentive to details unseen. You are spared unnecessary strain. Ease becomes familiar. Amen. 3232, a blessing of deep trust, mental clarity, and protected renewal settles. As moments pass, stability continues to anchor you firmly. Even change unfolds gently under watchful care. Nothing feels abrupt or overwhelming. You move through transitions with grace, guided and supported at every stage. Uncertainty loses its power. Confidence holds steady. The protective field adapts seamlessly, expanding as your life expands. Growth remains safe. Progress feels secure. You exist within a continuous state of support that does not waver. Calm strength accompanies you everywhere. Safety remains uninterrupted. Amen. 3333, a blessing of graceful transition, secure growth, and unwavering support completes this continuation.